We just raise them to make them like just engineers and doctors, and we don't care about other aspects. Just, we raise them and take care of their bodies, not taking care of their souls. So because our intention is important, what decisions that we'll take, which school we're going to send them, how we're going to educate them. Look at that mistake many times. Unintentionally we are doing it. How many times is that we wake them up for schooling? My son, you are late for school. But we haven't asked ourselves how many times we wake them up for salah. When the weekdays, we make sure that they get up early because they don't want them to be late for school. But at the weekend, oh, they are haram, maskeen, they are tired all the day. Let them rest. We haven't even waked them for Fajr until the sunrise and even after. So what type of education that we are sending to them? They'll be more careful about dunya than akhirah. So we're indirectly that, we are sending that messages to them. So first we have to change our intention. Our intention has to be in the sake of Allah. If I want to quote from today's story about Rumaysa, look at that. All her children were the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's enough for her that was Anas. She brought him to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam at the age of 10. And look at that. Who's among us doing something like this? I remember that time we sent email to the brothers to help establishing the Quran program. One of the replied came from a doctor, and he said, choose for themselves what's good for them. Wallahi, that's a mentality of a brother. He's supposed to be well educated and well respected. So you don't have to send them to school. Just let them stay at home, and then when they grow up they will decide for themselves. Why we dictate in other matters and we decide that's good for them, when it comes Quran and Salah and other things, we didn't care. You know what happened? This father rejected Islam now. That's from that time I sensed something wrong. So gradually now this man, it's not only about this. He spoke about Hajj with the very bad words, about Salah, about other aspects of Islam, and he's encouraging the word of the atheists and those, mulhideen. Subhanallah. So we have to be careful. The intention, that is very important. That's the first thing has to be. You know what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said about the story of those two orphans in Surah Al-Kahf? وَكَانَ أَبُوهُمَا صَالِحًا. Their father was a good man. So his intention was good and his action was good. And because of that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected his children. And he's absent. He's in his grave, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took care of them because the intention is important. So we have first to have a good intention and do that in the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The second point, and it's important, is ish'arul mas'uliyya. We have to feel the responsibility. That we are responsible. Not blaming one another, and sometimes when a problem happens, you say, you know what? That's your mistake. The father will say to the mother. That's your mistake. The mother will say to the father. And we're blaming one another, and we're not feeling that we are responsible. All of us, the father is responsible, the mother, the community, and everyone. Yes, we are responsible. We cannot say, oh, we are not. We kick them out of the masjid because they are troublemakers, and then later on they are doing bad things outside, and say we are not responsible. No, we are the one. We have the masjid, we haven't made like a good attraction for them, and then they are not that interested, coming here, they come somewhere else, so that's our blame. We shouldn't say, it's not our problem, that's their problem. We have to do what the best for us and for them, and we have to feel that we are responsible. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Ya ladhina amanu qu anfusakum wa ahlikum nara. And the Prophet said, Inna Allah sa'ilun kulla ra'in amma sar'a hafidha am dayya. Indeed, Allah will question each one of us about his belonging, like about his children, about his descendants, that he saved them, he was the reason for being them to be lost. Subhanallah. We have to be the reason for their happiness, not the reason for their misery. We have to do our best. And how many of those fathers were the main problem for their children? Because they never felt that they are responsible. This is the job which you can count, that's at 24 hours. There is no vacation, there is no time off. That's your first mandate. And that's what we have to think. Do not think that's your other job is more important. You go, you work all the day, you come at night, and you haven't spent any time with your children. And you say, you know, I was there to earn for them. They were more important than other things. What was as a meaning, as a means, became as a target and as a goal. The job and other things aside, that's just means. But raising them Islamically, that's a goal. So we shouldn't be deviated because of, you know, we are getting busy with our means. So the second thing that, you know, where it's important that you feel that you are responsible before any other thing, you know. And when you feel that you are responsible, you watch yourself. You are going to watch yourself, what you are going to say, what you're going to do, because, you know, you be careful. Not like just, you know, telling them something and you're doing something else because you feel responsible. You say, you know what? That my son copied me in this situation, and what can I say after? You know, it was clear, even beside like the teaching of Islam, look at the other bad habits. 90% of those, their fathers are smokers, they are smokers as well. 90% of those, their fathers are alcohol addicted, AD. Their children are AD, alcohol addicted. So we have to be careful, to the point some people that think that's something into the genetic. Because how they saw the pattern, you know, for their fathers, they did the same, so the children did the same. But they are copying that bad habits. But if you feel that you're responsible, you will count your actions. Abdullah ibn Umar, he used to devote for his salah and praying a lot. They said, why you are doing this? I said, I'm doing that for my children. It doesn't mean that I'm not doing that in the sake of Allah, but I'm doing that in order to even like discipline myself, in order Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help me to discipline my children. So it's very important to understand this. The number 3 tools, and that is very important. If you just leave them with that, you don't have to worry with salah. Teach them salah before teaching them any other thing. The salah, the most important thing. That when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala command the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, وَأْمُرْ أَهْلَكَ بِالصَّلَاةِ وَاسْتَبِرْ عَلَيْهَا. Command your family with, you know, being committed for their salah, and insist on them for that. And the Prophet ﷺ commanded us to command them, and he said, "Muru awladakum bis-salati li-sab'in wadribuhum 'alayha li-'ashrin wa farriqu baynahum fil madaji'." Command your children to pray at 7, and then discipline them, insist on them. Doesn't mean like, you know, beat them. Insist on them on that at the age of 10, and you should separate, you know, between their bed, you know, at the time of a puberty when they reach the bulugh, which that depends 13, 14, you know, based on their physical ability and other signs. So here it's more important, like, you know, to making priorities in our homes, in our life. What's the priorities? We have to make that salah, it's a number 1. Why we get upset if they didn't finish their homeworks, but we didn't care that much if they missed the salah? So we are teaching them again indirectly that their homeworks and their studies more important than the salah. So the salah is number 1. If you leave them with the salah and the deen, you don't have to worry, because always the deen will direct them back to something right. Even if they get lost on the way, if they get lost, they will come back, because they will remember that the salah will guide them and bring them back. So the salah is number 1. We should care about that. And look at that. The Prophet ﷺ, when he said, in order to change their habit, he said, command them at the age of 7 and insist on them at the age of 10. So you have at 3 years. 3 years, 5 times a day, so 1,000 times to tell them. So it's not enough to tell them one time. You said, you know what I did? You want to change your habit? So, oh, I did. How many times? You see, for 3 years, every single day, 5 times, you tell them about that before even you move to the other things, and he said, you are not responsible. Our Prophet Noah alayhi salam, even though he knew that his son is now a Muslim, and to the last moment he was insisting him to ride with them, Ya bunayya arkam ma'ana. To the point that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blamed him about that. إنه ليس من أهلك إنه عمل غير صالح إنه عمل غير صالح. There are 2 different riwayah, but he's not belong to you. So subhanallah, he was insisting to do so. But nowadays we make an excuse of ourselves and make this story of Noah as an excuse. The story of Noah, that's as an exception. The rule that what you have done and plant with them, that we're gonna get. So you plant and you get the fruit. But for the story of Noah, it's something different as exceptions. So do not make measurement for that story based on in your situation. And you said, you know what, al-murabbi min rabbi. That's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not for me. No, it's yours, your responsibility, what you have taught them. So it's very important. Salah, it should be number 1. وَجُعَلَتْ قُرَّةُ عَيْنِيَ الصَّلَاةِ. That's what Rasulullah said. My enjoyment was my salah. And when he used to call for Bilal, he said, أَرِحْنَا بِهَا يَا Bilal. Make us relax, oh Bilal, by calling for salah. And now the people, maybe they will switch, they will say, أَرِحْنَا مِنْهَا يَا Imam. It's enough. We want to pray. When I get it off of our shoulders, So they didn't enjoy during the salah. So we should really see that, with them, how salah would change their life. And how deen in general, because salah is symbolic of the deen. How deen in general would change their life. Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, what make him coming back to his mother is the deen. One verse from the Quran. His mother said to him, my son, I will never sit under any roof. I will sit under the sun. I will never drink and eat until you return back, until you leave this new religion. He said, my mother, if you have 100 souls, get out one after one, I will never leave it. And he left her. What make him return back to him? It's the deen, the Quran. The Prophet ﷺ told him, Allah had revealed the verse about you. You have to go back to your mother. وَصَاحِبُهُمَا فِي الدُّنْيَا مَعْرُوفًا. You have to be kind with them in this life. You have to listen to them as long as they are not asking you to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the point, when you equip them with the deen, with the salah, you are the winner. You are the one who will get the fruit. So you don't have to worry about it. So teach them deen before teaching them dunya. وَجْعَلْ عُلُومَ الدِّينِ رَأْسَ الْمَالِ ثُمَّ عُلُومَ الدُّنْيَا بِالتَّوَالِ. That's, the things you have to teach them first. It's a salah. So that's how you equip them. And most of the time, we blame our kids. But we didn't see we blame ourselves. Because most of the time, we use the wrong methods for disciplining them. And instead of disciplining them, we provoke them. We are making damages sometimes. And sometimes it's even hard to fix. So we have to be careful how we should deal with our kids, and especially in this society. We have to be very, very careful. مَنْ كَانَ لَهُ صَبِيٌّ فَلْيَتَصَابَ لَهُ. That's the Prophet what he said. We shouldn't be harsh and hard with them. ما ضرب النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم صبيا ولا جارية. The Prophet never hit in a child or boy or girl. So why we are really sometimes tough with them and harsh with them? We shouldn't do that. We should really exchange our habit with the bad things, with the good things, the bad things with the good things, and we try to adapt new methods dealing with them. Sometimes it's hard, but at the end, as I said, we are the winners. We are getting a good result. I remember that funny story. A father, he used to call one child, you are himar, mean like, donkey. The other one he used to call him, you're hayawan, you're animal. So he used to call him that for a long time. You see that language. So you're himar, the other one, you're donkey, all the time. So one time he messed up. The one he used to call him donkey, he called him himar. He said, my father, oh, I'm not himar. That's my brother. He said, I'm not, he accepted I'm donkey, but I'm not himar. So you make a damage in his personality. He accepted that. You don't want them that. No, you want them to stand up. So now you kill them emotionally. So it's very important to know how we should deal with our children. I don't want to take much from your time, so I will mention one more point. It's very, very important, wallahi. You know what's that point? It's very important. It could be good or bad if you don't manage it in a good way. The peer pressure, the friends, their surrounding. We have to make sure to teach them how they should choose their friends. Can you tell me how many hours that your child is spending with his friends? And every single day, how many hours? Let's say they are in high schools. How many hours? 7, 8 hours? That in the school. And after school, they're starting chatting and talking together. So over 10 hours in every day with their children, with their friends. And how many hours that they are spending quality time with you? How many hours? Sometimes 0. Sometimes we leave home when they are sleeping and we come back, they are sleeping. Sometimes even we talk to them just during the time of the food. This is not time we spend with them. It's not quality time. Sometimes we spend time with them when they are everybody watching, TV or a show. And sometimes we sit with them. But each one of us holding his phone, chatting with somebody else. Even when we talk together, he's beside me, but I'm texting him. I'm so lazy to open my mouth to talk to him. Subhanallah. So how many hours we spend with them? 1 hour a day, which is not even enough. Not even there. We have to admit that our mistake. And when we sit with them, what we are doing with them? Blaming them, shouting in their face. We're not even sitting with them with the wisdom. And maybe it's better even not to sit with them, if that's the case. So where's the positive skills of parenting? Where you are lacking, of the time that you should sacrifice with them. The Prophet ﷺ, despite his busy schedule, he still have time to spend with his family and his children. And he said himself, خيركم خيركم لأهله وأنا خيركم لأهلي. The best one among you is the best one for his family. And he said, I'm the best one for my family. And I will leave you with this. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, I'm the best one for my family, not out of pride, not just because he's happy with himself. No, he's referring to us to take him as a great example. You need example? That's an example for you to follow. The Prophet ﷺ, how he was with even his children. Do you know, when Fatima, anytime Fatima will come and approach the Prophet ﷺ, and he will come here, how he will do? Sometimes we are busy. The children, they come to us, and sometimes we are complaining, why not children coming to us and giving us hugs, and talking to us, and they consult somebody else instead of they consult us. Because we didn't care about them. We didn't even pay attention about their presence. When Fatima will come, she would come, the Prophet ﷺ would stand for her. She's coming there, and the Prophet ﷺ was standing for her and kissing her between her eyes. Subhanallah. Have you said to your son today, I love you, my son? Oh, he knew that I love him. No, he wants to hear that. You have to say that to him multiple times in a day to feel him that secure, to make him that really when you have a trouble and a problem is instead of you go to somebody else, he will come to consult you and listen to you. So we have to invest in them in that golden times before even the puberty, before even they go to the troubles, and that's the most important time before it's too late. So my dear brothers and sisters, just this is as an introduction for us to realize how it's important for us to go and seek the help of a specialist and seek the help by, teaching ourselves how we should raise them. That's the most important product that we're sending to humanity, a good Muslim. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you with a child and you raise that child, despite a boy or girl, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you Jannah. One time the Prophet mentioned about the girls. They said to him, if Allah bless you with 3 girls and you raise them Islamically and nicely, Allah will reward you Jannah. One of the Sahaba jumped in and he said, how about 2? He said, even 1. Even like you have 1 child, that's the most important thing. That's a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do not look at your children as a trouble. If you look at them in trouble and change your way of looking at them, you cannot deal with them. Even if they have troubles, try to be nice and kind with them. So it is important, my dear brothers and sisters, to do our best. To do our best. Allah bless us with our children. Let's make us, let be the reason for their happiness. Let's be, the reason for them to be close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let's, really raise them in a way that we feel proud of them. We feel proud of them in the day of the judgment. We feel proud of them in dunya and even in akhirah. So let's celebrate that success by producing good Muslims and brothers and sisters. So this is our duties, and all together collectively as parents and as a community, as people are responsible, so it's our duty to take care of them. I still remember one of the priests, he was a leader in his community. He came and he said, you know what? There are 2 things. Most of the time, you look at it as a problem. If that problem came to us, we will feel more happy. We love if your problem is transferred to us. You know what he said? He said, the parking lot. Most of the masajid, they have problem in the parking lot, yes? They complain. That priest, he said, we wish if we have this a problem. The parking lot is empty. Nobody coming. And he said, the youth. You complain about the youth, too many coming, making damage. Now, he said, we wish if they come. Let them come and make damage. Let them come. So the 2 we think it's a problem. Others, they think it's a blessing. So let's change our concept. So they are a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala again bless this gathering. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect our children and never ever make dua against them. Even if they disobey you. Even they are making headache for you and make you nuts, Never ever make dua against them. Just make dua for them and say, رَبَّنَا هَبْ لَنَا مِنْ أَزْوَاجِنَا وَذُرِّيَّاتِنَا قُرَّةَ أَعْيُنٍ وَاجْعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا. اللهم احفظنا بحفظك واكلأنا برعايتك ووفقنا إلى ما تحب وترضاه وأعطي لكل عبد منا من الخير ما نواه وصلي وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد ومن والاه. آمين. بارك الله فيكم. As part of the program, there is a social gathering and potluck in the basement. So everybody invited to join. Jazakallah khairan.